my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song, this cornerstone.
Welcome back. We are still on the Let Us Reason Together program, and we are featuring the Kenya Student Christian Fellowship with their operations, and they are talking about the national camp, and we want to get to know the details of what is it that whoever is attending this camp is going to get. So with us here, we have got a strong panel that are in preparations. They are doing all it takes to make sure that this camp succeeds and that they offer what is right. And whoever student attends that camp comes out of that camp a different, transformed person that is able to fit in this society and able to at least overcome the challenges that are there. And before we get into the details of what is it that they're going to offer, probably we can find out from Elijah where are these camps and what's the arrangement?
Well, thank you very much, Eric. We care, and as we said earlier, we are about bringing the nation together and every student together. This year, the head office, the KSM head office, made a very good arrangement to make every student participate from where they come from. And we divided the nation into 4 areas, and we are calling them for our own administrative purpose blocks. So if you come from the Western and Nyanza area, we are calling that Block 1. And anybody staying in Block 1, whether you are a teacher or a student or a CSAT or any form of associate, well, they will all be referred as Block 1 in a school called Kisii High School. Then we have another group we call Block number 2. That is the larger Rift Valley, the North, Central, and the Lower Rift, and then the whole of Nairobi, Kiambu, and Nyandarua. That block is number 2, and we shall all be at Baringo County at Prt Girls High School. And we have another group in the Central Kenya, the Upper Eastern, and all that area we call Mount Kenya region. They will be gathering at a place we call Embu County at Kangaroo School, or they lovely call it Kangaroo High School, or the Kangaroo School. And the students who live around there, and the teachers and all parents, they are encouraged to let the students visit that place and be admitted in the convention. We have another team which we are calling Block number 3, covering the lower eastern counties and the coast, the former coast province. They will all be meeting in Kitui High School, that is Kitui Girls. And in all those conventions, whether you're going to Block 1, 2, or 3, or 4, you're going to pay the same amount. How much? 2,000 shillings. And how do you pay? You're going to use the pay bill numbers to pay for the convention. And that is, you go to Lipa na M-Pesa, then you go to pay bill, you enter business number as 542600. I'm sure you'll be seeing it in this media. It will be an advert going every day. You see that going at the bottom of the screen. And then once you pay that, you write CONV 19 and your block number as the account. And after that, if you are a person who wants to sponsor a student, because some really need to be sponsored and they want to be supported, you use the same pay bill number, 542600, and then you send a text message or you call our head office number 0721 770 933. I repeat, if you sponsor a student or a teacher or a school, you need to use the same pay bill, 542600, then you put the account CONV 19, then you send a text message or call number 0721 770 933 to tell the head office the purpose of the money and for which person you have paid. That's how we'll be having the students and teachers, but the teachers will be paying 3,000, the students will be paying 2,000.
Okay, Brother Elijah, when is this happening?
All these conventions are happening, we say same date, different places. Which date? Starting or reporting date is 8th of April 2019, as early as 9 a.m. Then we leave the convention on 14th of April, the year 2019.
Great. Now in these conventions, what are some of the topics that are going to be covered, Madam Carol?
We are talking about, this program is called Let us reason together. So we are reasoning, and we are looking at some of the problems that we are facing as a nation in the education sector among our young students. One of the main problems that we have had is the issue of betting. So in this national conventions, one of the things that we'll be looking at will be looking at that topic of betting. And we'll be asking ourselves a number of questions. What does the Bible say about betting? What should a young Christian or what should a Christian student do? How should they respond to the issue of betting? Should they bet? Should they not bet? And those are some of the things that we'll be discussing, and we'll be able to look at what the Bible says about the whole topic of betting. We've heard of students who have used their school fees for betting. Some of them have ended up committing suicide, and we want to address this problem. The other area we'll be looking at is the issue of teenage pregnancies that has been discussed a lot in our media, and currently everybody is trying to find out what do we do to be able to deal with the issue of teenage pregnancies. And therefore we'll be talking about the whole aspect of sexual purity and abstinence for the young people, and training them and encouraging them to be able to remain pure. The other area that we'll also be looking at will be the area of media. Currently we know that quite a number of young people are being affected by the way they use media. Media is good, but a good number of young people do not know how to use media. We have cases of students who don't sleep at night, the whole night they are chatting, and therefore they are not able to even concentrate the next day in class. So we'll be looking at the whole question of media and asking ourselves what is the best way to be able to respond to the technological things that are coming up as far as media is concerned. Of course, it is exciting as we get to learn new things. You want to press on that button and find out what happens. But should you be overtaken by it? The Bible talks of self-control. And that is one thing that we need to exercise even as young people when it comes to our use of media. And we'll be looking at that subject of media and how it is affecting the young people and how they can also be helped to be able to make use of media properly. That's as far as the young people are concerned, in addition to the peer-to-peer. In the peer-to-peer ministry, we'll be training our students on Bible study, helping them to be able to do personal Bible study and to lead a small Bible study group. We'll also be training them on discipleship so that they can be able to take care of those ones who are being converted in their schools and walk along with them, teaching them the basic doctrines of the Bible so that they can be able to stand in the world after school. In addition to that, we'll also be doing a training on leadership so that they can lead others and at the same time also be able to lead themselves. And finally, on peer-to-peer, we'll be dealing on the issue of Christian peer counseling, and we'll be training our students to be able to counsel one another. I know that students keep on consulting with one another on the daily problems they face, and they will talk to one another, therefore they give one another advice. Therefore, we'll be helping them to be able to know how to handle one another, especially when they're having problems that are emotional, psychological, mental, whichever kind of problem. We are talking about a situation whereby there's an increase in suicide cases among young people, and we want to be able to reach out and help them. So Christian peer counseling will go a long way in helping them. On the part of the teachers, we have a very good program for them in this national convention. They'll also be participating in the peer-to-peer, so we will be training the teachers alongside with the students on peer-to-peer ministry because we expect them to be able to oversee those programs in the schools. And then secondly, for the teachers, we'll also be training them on how to prepare a sermon. How to prepare a sermon, and much more an effective sermon. So if you're there and you've just been wondering what do I say, if I'm called upon to preach, if I'm called upon to talk to the students, what do I do? So this is the place that I would want to invite you to come, because you'll be trained on how to prepare a biblical sermon, and I'm sure that we'll also have some bit of practicals on those sermons. I'm personally looking forward to it. And as we present our sermons, we'll critique one another, and at the end of the day, I believe we'll be very good preachers. For the CASATs, we'll be talking about the whole idea of life after school, how to be able to choose a career, and the area of relationships, even as they finish school, the whole idea of being responsible and making wise decisions even as they live life out of school. For the children, we'll be teaching them the Bible stories and allowing them also to be able to interact with one another. There will be fun games for the children as they learn the Bible. For the drivers, as I mentioned earlier, they'll be taught about the whole idea of traffic rules and all that, the changes that are taking place in the area of our roads, and they will also be equipped and they will be given certificates for that kind of training.
Wow, that's quite a big program, a program tailored to each one that is attending, because the teachers have got their portion, the students, even the Sunday school, the KSATs, everybody that's attending has got some good stuff to carry home. And you talk about media, and I'm just wondering, is media only affecting the young people, Madam Elos?
Also, all I'm adult, I would say we are very much affected by the media. And the unfortunate thing is that media has become everything. Mm-hmm. That we listen, media has formed our values, media has formed our convictions. We spend a lot of time in the media, and we wouldn't point fingers at our children. Mm-hmm. They have picked, not all of them, but they have picked those habits from us. Mm-hmm. And I think even as we look at this convention and talking to the young people about the media, we also need to introspect and look at ourselves as young people. What example, what are we modeling to our young people? As parents, what are we modeling? Are we spending more time in the media than the time we are spending with our children? And if that's the case, especially those of us who are Christians, we need to take a step and act right what is expected. Act as it is expected. That's what I would say.
Wow, that's interesting. You see now, like for the adults, eventually the media has become almost like people are related to phones, they're related to the TV, they're related to the various forums, whereby they have so many friends, hundreds and thousands and even a million. But the relationship here next has been hampered a great deal. And therefore, there is need for us to reason about this, and I want to appreciate the KSCF for coming up with that topic that will be covered in the convention. As we come to the conclusion of this program, probably I want to give them a few seconds to give final remarks on the Let Us Reason Together. Let's begin with Madam Carol.
Okay, my final word goes to the parents. Let us invest in the young people. If we don't invest on them, we will lose them. They are the majority in this country. Let's sponsor them and let them come for this convention.
Thank you.
Well, I am also grateful for the opportunity, but I want to say this. In Kiswahili, usipoziba ufa, utajenga ukuta. I think instead of complaining that our young people are evil, this is the right time. And KSF is here, giving us the platform to ziba the ufa, that we may never jenga ukuta. We raise a whole person today, that we may have them tomorrow. Karibuni sana for the convention.
My final remarks, I want to encourage this nation and the world that all is not lost. We have young people who have stood for the right, and they are men of integrity, and our role is to keep empowering them and encouraging them. And then for those who are lost, we also have an opportunity to change them, because they are at that stage where we can model them, where we can help them so that they follow the right path. Thank you.
Great. We are in this world, and indeed in this particular world view, which is different from what it was a long time ago, and we are talking about being relevant. And therefore, the KSCF comes on board on relevancy, on Christian matters, in terms of music, in terms of media, in terms of all these things. And therefore, we continue to reason together. Today, it was about the national convention that the KSCF has organized. And I want to invite you every other Tuesday so that you may just come and tune in Champions TV for the Let Us Reason Together. And eventually we will get a lot of tips on how best that we are able to relate with one another, with our young people, and that the world we live in cannot harm us, but we can be in a position to overcome the challenges that are coming there, so that we live in a good way. So with me, Eric Lumosi, bye-bye. You are most welcome again next Tuesday.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought.